Welcome back to another episode of Life in Pictures podcast. I bet you thought we were gone, but we're not.
We're not. We're here. Hey, what's your favorite scary movie?
I have 7 of them.
7, huh?
Yeah, they make me so excited I want to do something.
All right. So, for those of you who need very clear and direct instruction, we are going to be talking about Scream 7 in this episode. If you have not seen the movie and you do not want spoilers, stop here and come back after you've watched it.
We're spoiling everything.
There's a lot of spoilers, and friends, there's a lot of tea. We even brought Colin in. Say hi, Colin.
Hello. If you do not leave after the spoiler alert, I will gut you like a fish.
He will not gut you like a fish. That was
Yep, I will.
unkind. We're working on kindness. Kindness matters. Anyway, so Scream 7 is currently in the theaters.
Yes. We're able to bring you this episode today after 6 hours of trying to get this stupid thing to record.
Yeah, so you are getting a delightful treat of us at our very best. Also, fun fact, it is torrentially raining outside, so it truly is a dark and stormy evening, a perfect time to talk about Scream 7.
I just want to say that I brought up an ice cold Coca-Cola up here to drink while we were doing this, and it took so long to set up that now it's lukewarm, which is also scary.
Okay, so we saw this movie in the theater opening weekend. It was Colin's 15th birthday. Happy birthday, Colin. He wanted to go see the movie in the theater, so we did. He's too cool for school, so he did not sit with us, but he was in the same theater we were in, and he saw what we saw. The first thing we have some thoughts on are the previews.
Yes. Now, this is a new segment I've decided we should do where if we go see a new movie in the theater, we'll talk about some of the previews that we see, some things that are coming up, maybe something you might be interested in. Who knows?
And since it takes a good 30 minutes of our time, we're going to add it in here.
Yeah, good Lord. What is up with the length of the previews in the movie theater now? It used to be 15 minutes. And I even thought 15 minutes was too much. Now it's 30 minutes.
And it's not even like it's that many more trailers. They're just showing you like the whole movie.
It's ridiculous. And then if you ever just think, oh, well, I'll just show up 30 minutes later. Like the one time that you show up late, they start the movie right on time.
For sure.
It's crazy. I'm not against previews. I just wish they didn't have so freaking many of them.
Yeah.
I think that it'd be fine if it was just like 10 minutes, maybe 15 to...
Yeah, that would be great. That's what it used to be.
Just like...
I have a suggestion for the name of this segment.
Okay.
We should call this segment Preview Review.
Preview Review.
Oh, very nice. Preview
Good idea.
Review. All right. Well, new name, new segment, Preview Review. I have a review of one of the previews. It was that I did not care for it. It was very scary, and there were lots of jump scares, and I did not appreciate it.
What's the name of this movie?
The movie is called Passenger. Okay. I didn't need to see that.
It did look pretty creepy.
It was super creepy, lots of jump scares. No thank you, okay? Like, I understand that Scream is a horror movie, but Scream is what I like to refer to as horror light. It's horror for the 90s babies that just can't handle the true gore and grossness, right? Or the true terrifyingness. But when I'm sitting in the movie theater all nice and relaxed and ready to watch my movie, and I see some dead-ass man in the passenger seat, no thank you.
Yeah, so what happens in this preview is these two guys are driving along, and then one guy gets out to he has to relieve himself on the side of the road, and he's taking a while, and then his friend can't find him, and then he comes back to the car all dying and stuff, like, help me, and his friend freaks out and drives away, and then his friend keeps seeing the same weird guy on the side of the road, like he's going in circles, but he's not because he's driving down like a straight road. And then all of a sudden, the weird guy shows up right next to him in the passenger seat, and the name of the movie is
Jump
Passenger.
scare. No, thank you.
So I don't know. If you're into that kind of thing, there you go.
I will not be seeing that movie.
I was a little surprised at how many horror movies they are releasing in the beginning of this year or the beginning of the middle of the year and not really like around Halloween time.
Yeah.
Like I would think that horror movies would be released around Halloween.
I wonder if there's some big blockbusters coming out at that time this year that they didn't want to compete with.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Anyways, what's the next one we're going to talk about?
I want to discuss my favorite preview. And before I say this, I want to say, what's up? We're going to talk about Scary Movie, the new one. There was that theater that played in front of Scream 7, which was for the Perry film of Scream, mainly Scream. Scary Movie. They're making a new one. Scary Movie is just funny, but I liked how it poked fun at the newer Screams because I like this the one of the lines that was funny was there's no Scream movie without Sidney Prescott. That would be Scream 6.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for it because I just like the Wayans family. Everything they do is hilarious. I've been a fan of their work since In Living Color. I think that was probably one of the greatest shows that's ever existed. For me, I don't think you're really going to find much better in terms of comedy than them. And pretty much anything that they put out, I would go see. Especially this, because I've seen all the other ones. And it's really cool to see it come back.
So, in addition to Scary Movie, which looks very funny, there is also a sequel to the movie Ready or Not. Ready or Not 2, in fact. Not a movie that I would have thought would have warranted a sequel, but I don't totally hate it. If you're not familiar, the plot of Ready or Not is basically like this girl marries into this family, and on the wedding night, they draw cards, and whatever card the bride draws is the game they have to play. Most of the games are fun, normal, friendly games. The one game that is not is hide and seek. If you draw the hide and seek card, then the family has to hunt and kill the bride before sunup, or the devil will, I don't know, disintegrate them or something. So the plot of this movie is that she is trying to survive the night and get out of there alive.
Well, hold on. That's the plot of the first movie.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And she does survive the night.
Yeah. So I was getting there.
Hence why she's in.
So she survives the night, and now this family was one of the elite families in the world that kind of owns everything. And so now all these other families are fighting to kill her and each other to see who gets to rule the world, basically. So that's what the sequel is. It introduces her sister, Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to be in it. It borderlines on like too gory for me, but it's also manageable. If that
I'm gonna go see it because we saw the first one. So
yeah, I don't know if I that might be a movie I have to watch at home. I don't
want to check it out
in the theater.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was in Scream 2.
And she was in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Right, I Know What You Did.
She has been in a lot of horror movies.
And I know that there is one preview left that we haven't talked about yet for a movie that you are dying to see.
I'm very excited about this movie, Project Hail Mary.
Tell us about that.
If you are not familiar with Project Hail Mary, this is a book by Andy Weir, or it's based on a book by Andy Weir, who also wrote The Martian. He's written several other novels, and they're really good books. Most of them are about science and space and stuff. But this movie has Ryan Gosling. I was going to say Ryan Reynolds, and I was like, that's not right. Ryan Gosling is Dr. Grace, who the plot of this film is that, or the plot of the book, which should be also the plot of the film, is that there's this I don't really know what you would call them, organisms, I guess, that they feed off of like solar energy and they produce an extraordinary amount of heat. You can use them for all kinds of energy. It's supposed to be super great, all this really cool stuff. But it turns out that they're disintegrating the sun. So eventually, if they disintegrate the sun, all life on Earth is going to go away because we can't survive without the sun. So they grab this team of all the greatest minds on the planet to try to figure out a way to counteract this. And Dr. Grace is this scientist who knows a lot about this stuff called astrophage. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. I think it's astrophage, Astrophage. And so he wasn't originally going to go on this mission, but then he ends up going on it. It's a suicide mission, more or less, because they're like, you're not coming back from this, but you have to go up to space and figure it out. And while he's in space, he makes contact with an alien who's having the same problem where destroying the sun will also mess things up really bad for his planet. And they have to work together to figure out a way to get around a lot of obstacles and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to obviously spoil everything for you here, but it was an interesting book. I read it. I finished it up in time for the movie to come out. I'm excited to go compare the movie. The Martian was pretty good in comparison to the book. I mean, the book's always better, but the movie was pretty good. So I think this one is going to be good as well.
Excellent. So that 30 minutes later brings us to the start of the movie, which is currently playing in theaters at a theater near you. We used our Wriggle Unlimited, not sponsored, to go see this movie. Fun fact, the movie had a $45 million budget, and currently it has clocked $111 million worldwide, and it's only been out a week.
And it's also currently the #1 movie in the world.
There you go. #1 movie.
It is doing very well for itself.
So, Colin, tell us about the plot of this movie.
Okay, a rough synopsis. When a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where Sydney has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target of the Ghostface killings. Determined to protect her family, Sydney must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all.
Pretty hardcore, right? So this movie sees the return of Neve Campbell in her role as Sydney Prescott.
Court from Scream 6.
She was absent in Scream 6. She has returned for Scream 7. So there's a little bit of controversy around this movie because, gosh, I never remember her last name, but her name's Melissa something. The girl that was in 5 and 6?
Yes,
4, 5, and 6? I don't know. The one that's Billy's daughter, right?
Yeah.
She made a comment that got her fired from the movie, which then had Jenna Ortega drop out of the movie. So it kind of left them scrambling to rewrite the plot. So there are people that are boycotting the movie for that reason. Totally respect that if that's your jam and your choice. But I was very excited that Neve Campbell is back in the role of Sydney Prescott. Obviously, there had been all these rumblings about the appearance of Matthew Lillard in the movie. So we were really excited to go see it.
Yes, I was very excited about him coming back. I was kind of wondering how they were going to work that in, what was going to happen. And now we can tell you about what happened. So anyway, who else were we talking about that was in this movie? Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox comes back as Gale Weathers. Mason Gooding is Chad
and Mindy, who are Randy's niece and nephew. They're back in this movie. They've been in the last few movies.
There you go. Isabel May, who plays Tatum Evans, which is Neve Campbell or Sydney Prescott's daughter.
So she named her daughter after her friend Tatum.
Joel McHale as Mark Evans, the town sheriff.
Okay, I have a big problem with this.
Yes, me too.
Okay, well, here's
the thing. I always like to preface this by saying I don't have a big problem with Joel McHale. I think Joel McHale is funny. He's a good actor if the role is right for him. I just can't. It's hard for me to see Joel McHale in a serious role.
Here's my
Is that your criticism?
partially, but it's not really even about Joel McHale. The lead up to this movie, we've been told for years that she married the detective Mark from the third movie, which is Patrick Dempsey. That they got married and they moved away from whatever and they're living their life. And now it's some other Mark who ain't no Patrick Dempsey, that's for damn sure. And obviously they couldn't use Patrick Dempsey because they couldn't.
Did
But
he get killed in the other movie?
no, he didn't. Because like this whole time we've been saying that that's who she married.
Wasn't he like a bad guy in the end though?
No,
No.
no.
Somebody was.
The brother.
All of these movies run together for
They
me.
do run together.
We're on number 7. I'm like, I don't know. This guy in the mask killed a bunch of
People
people.
and things and stuff and things. So as with tradition of a Scream movie, this movie begins with kind of the opening scene kill. And in this movie, we have Michelle Randolph, who she stars in Landman. She plays Billy Bob Thornton's daughter. And Jimmy Tatro, who is the firefighter boyfriend from Modern Family. I'm sure he's been in other stuff.
Alex's boyfriend.
So they pull up to Stu Macher's house, and apparently it's like an Airbnb serial killer experience that you can pay to go to. So she's not super thrilled about being there. He is super thrilled about being there. Stuff goes awry. They get killed. Ghostface burns the house down. Boom. There's your opening scene. Colin, thoughts?
Okay, so I did think the opening scene was cool, but I also like before the killer reveal, because I also thought that the killer was Stu and him burning the house down made sense.
Mm-hmm.
But after the reveal, which I won't say because we'll get to that in a minute, I think that the opening scene makes no sense because, spoiler alert, it's not Stu, and I don't understand what those people in the house did because they're not anywhere near the other setting of the movie. So it would have made no sense for the ghost faces to like go kill them and burn it down for literally no reason. So it was cool originally. Now that I know who the killers are, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, so pretty early on in the movie after those killings, Sydney gets a call from Stu on FaceTime. And he says, I'm not hiding this time. I'm coming for you. And that was kind of like, because you see his face on the FaceTime and you're like, what? And there's a whole bunch of back and forth throughout the movie of whether like that's really Stu or is it AI generated, and that's part of the plot of the movie. Spoiler alert, it's not Stu, but I feel like it would have been better if it had been Stu.
I was really hoping that they would give Stu a redemption arc.
Like that he's not bad?
Yeah, like he would come back and help them fight off whoever this killer was.
I don't
feel like it would have been cool if they did that, and then he was like, so I just helped you with this new killer, so now I'm going to kill you.
No, like not that he wasn't going to kill anybody. Like he's good now. Like he's not like a dumbass teenager anymore. And he's like had time to grow up and realize he was wrong. And he's going to like try to make it right now.
I think that he would do that though.
Yeah, why the hell not? They're on 7. Like, do something different. Every damn movie is like, oh, you're gonna scary movie. I'm gonna kill you in the mask. You're not gonna know it's me till the end. Oh, surprise, it's me. And oh, they killed me. Now I gotta find another guy. It's the same fucking movie 7 times in a row. It's fun to watch, but it's like, mix it up a little. That would have been cool. People wouldn't see it coming.
So the first Ghostface gets killed pretty early on in the movie. He gets run over by Gail Weathers in her little Jeep. And it's this random grifter guy, and they're trying to figure out who he is. They get led back to this mental institution that supposedly Stu was locked up in with this grifter guy, and they were best friends. The man who worked there is Ethan Embry, and he kind of gave Sydney and Gail the rundown about the situation.
I was excited when he came on the screen. I was like, it's Ethan!
Yeah.
If you don't know, he was the bass player in The Wonders in That Thing You Do, among other roles.
He's also in Can't Hardly Wait.
He was also in Empire Records.
Yeah, he was in a lot of movies, and
He's also in Sneaky Pete.
his hairline definitely shows his age for sure.
I don't think that's his real hair.
I think it is.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't...
Anyway, so the killer is really like targeting Sydney's family. So we see her husband get attacked and we assume killed because he was stabbed good. And then all of her daughter's friends got killed, right?
I think so.
Yeah, pretty much every single one of them. So then it's just down to her and her daughter. And they kidnap her daughter, the additional 2 ghost faces kidnap the daughter, bring her back to the backyard of her house, and
They actually set her up in the backyard. I think it's supposed to be an homage to Steve in the
yes, even though she would have never seen the scene with Steve.
Yeah.
But
still.
anyway, so the killers are revealed. Tell us about the killers, Colin.
Okay, so one of the killers is Ethan Embry. He made up the stew in the mental hospital thing, which I'm sure that you could have saw coming. The other killer is Sydney's neighbor, who is jealous of her. So neither of them are Stu, which is dumb. But anyway, yeah, those are the killers. Her neighbor is very like
Psycho.
Yeah. So she read Sydney's book, and she's like, "Yeah, I read your book about how to get over your problems, so I killed my husband." And she basically took her morals the very wrong way. And she met up, and now she wants to kill Sydney, and I don't remember exactly why she wants to kill Sydney, because, like, Sydney gave her the motivation to become Ghostface, so I'm still not entirely sure why she wants to kill Sydney, but anyway, she meets up at the mental hospital at some point with Ethan Embry, and they decide to get their friend Carl, who is the Ghostface that gets run over, and do more Ghostface killings. Spoiler alert, Mark is not dead somehow and is still alive, and he frees Tatum, which is Sydney's daughter, and
It's his daughter too, right?
It's their daughter.
Yeah, their daughter, whatever. And Sydney quickly shoots Ethan Embry in the head, so that's 1 down, 1 to go. They sneak into the garage. Sydney does. I think Tatum stays out there for a bit because she's hesitant about going with her mom. She's also hesitant about her mom going by herself. Anyway, Sydney gets attacked in the garage by, I think her name's Jessica, her neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, she gets attacked, and then she's okay, and then Tatum finds her, and Jessica ran off. Tatum and Sydney both have guns. Jessica tries to ambush them, but she gets shot so many times in the face that her face falls off.
Yeah, it was a little unnecessary, honestly.
And that's how the Ghostface killers die in this movie.
I didn't love the fact that, like, I'm not sure if she was the person that physically killed her son, but she knew about it and didn't care. Didn't care.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
She was like, he was just like his dad anyway. I don't care.
I think that was kind of at the point when not her, but when I thought that Ethan Embry might have been the guy, was when he was saying that, oh, I know who Stu is. I'm like, how would he know who that is? You know? When he was saying, that's John Doe or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't know who that guy is, you know? Clearly he's in on it.
Yeah, like, Stu and Billy in the first one were, like, definitely reported on because all the other Ghostfaces mentioned Billy and Stu at least once, so, like, people know who they are. Like,
Yeah, it just seemed kind of suspect to me.
But I think they leaned into the whole lore of we've never actually said Stu is dead.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was interesting where they had the podcast and they said that he had been spotted in the background of this party in 97. And apparently, I guess this might be like common knowledge if you're a super fan of Scream, but I didn't know it, that in Scream 2, you can actually see Matthew Lillard make kind of a cameo in the background of a party. And I don't know if he's supposed to be Stu or if it's just, just he's just supposed to be a guy at the party. But that was kind of cool. That was the other reason why I thought, like, oh, maybe they could actually make it like he's survived somehow.
And maybe they still can, like maybe they could now,
Yeah.
like maybe in Scream 8, like now that these questions have been reopened, because one of the things that they did say along the way was that there was no coroner's report, like, and the coroner died 10 years ago or something. So, like, nobody ever actually saw his body at the morgue. So I think that, like, maybe that could be a setup for Scream 8.
I would like to see a redemption arc. That would be great. I think that would be a good way to end it too. Like end it forever. Like the original guy helps you get rid of the, whoever the new guy is, and that's it. And it's just over.
I think the only way they can end the franchise, because let's be honest, they're probably not going to do that because they're not original, unfortunately. But I genuinely think the only way that the franchise can end, story-wise, like obviously if it doesn't make money, then there's not.
Sydney has to die.
Story-wise, I think the only way they're going to end it is if they kill off Sydney.
Yeah, she's gotta die.
And another thing, I was telling my friend who we saw it with, my theory is that the opening scene kill was Stu, and he just like leapt for the rest of the movie, and he's gonna come back in 8.
It could be.
So like there, so I think basically the opening scene was kind of just like a sneak preview of Stu.
And it could have very well been that, like, they were always planning the Stu arc for Scream 8, and then because of the drama with the recasting, they had to, like, switch things around. So, I mean, I'd like to think that they know where they're going with things. I don't know if that's accurate or not. You had some issues with Joel McHale as the sheriff.
Yeah, I just, like I was saying, I like Joel McHale. I remember the first time I ever heard of Joel McHale was when he was doing The Soup. And then we used to watch The Soup all the time. And there's a great show where, if you're not familiar with what The Soup is, it's a reboot of a show called Talk Soup, which was a similar kind of show where they would make fun of like pop culture and stuff. And so when they rebooted it, I think Greg Kinnear was the anchor of that one. When they rebooted it as The Soup, Joel McHale was the anchor. It was on the E channel, and it was sort of a similar type show to like a Tosh.0 or something like that, which I guess I'm also dating myself by saying Tosh.0. If you're not familiar with that, it's the same type show. It's a clip show where they would take viral videos from the internet and, joke about them. Well, The Soup was sort of like that, but it wasn't the internet. It was like TV shows and reality shows and movies and things like that. And I thought he was really funny there. He does stand up. We went to go see him when he came through Orlando one time. I've seen him. He was in Community. I don't think he's a bad actor or anything. But to me,
He's a very specific type.
when I see Joel McHale, I see him as a comedic actor. I don't see him as like, oh, I'm going to watch him be like a serious guy. Not that he can't do it. It's just like, I'm used to seeing him in a comedic role. And, he's supposed to be the sheriff. And I mean, he has the build to be like like a big guy, like a physical kind of guy. It could, be a sheriff. But I don't know, something about him when I see him, I'm like, I don't buy him as like an authority figure, I guess. So whatever. I mean, he did okay. He wasn't like a bad actor or anything. It's like, maybe it's just more of a me thing than an actual criticism. But
He was my favorite new character.
it's sort of like when they had Vince Vaughn play Norman Bates in the Psycho remake. It was just, which at the time he wasn't really a comedic actor, but it's still sort of like, whatever. And as just as time went on, it was even more ridiculous. Um, and then there was this one scene in the movie where like I think it was like his Joel McHale or Mark, I guess is his character's name. Like his mom was watching their other kids or something, and then like they thought that the killer might be coming to target them, and he's like, "Oh, is everything okay?" And he's like, "I have the entire Denver police force protecting them," and I'm like, "You're in some bullcrap city called like Pine Grove, middle of nowhere. You're the sheriff, and you have the capacity to order the entire Denver police force to protect 3 people. Like, shut up." You got like Barney Fife sitting at their house if you're lucky. They don't care if some guy from some stupid crap town calls them up. Yeah, is this the whole Denver police force? I'm gonna need you to go over to this random lady's house and protect them all night. Okay, random guy from Pine Grove. We'll be right there.
Okay. Moving on from criticisms, unless Mom has any. Do you have any criticisms?
No, I said what I needed to say.
Okay, so I think we should move on to our favorite scenes.
Okay.
One of my favorite scenes. Oh, actually, I have one more criticism. No, it's not. Okay, so there are so many franchises where they have people shown to be like 100% totally dead, and then they just bring them back. I was praying to God that somehow they were gonna write in that Dewey was alive, but he wasn't alive, and I hate that, and I'm mad.
Can't kill David Arquette.
Dewey's dead.
Exactly. Can't kill David Arquette.
If you guys aren't familiar with that reference, there's a documentary called You Can't Kill David Arquette, and it's about him wrestling. If you're unfamiliar, David Arquette was the WCW heavyweight champion at one point because Vince Russo is a weirdo and decided that was a good idea. But anyways, I guess a lot of people were heavily criticized for that, and David Arquette is a wrestling fan himself, so he decided he wanted to go back and do it the right way all these years later, and he started actually wrestling for real on like the independent circuits and stuff, and this documentary is all about his journey with that. So check that out if you have looking for something to do.
I would like to say that my favorite scene was the first time Sydney answers the FaceTime call and it's Stu and he says, "Surprise, Sydney."
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's back."
And then I really enjoyed when they were kind of looping through the AI characters, starting with Stu, and then it morphed into Roman and Mrs. Loomis and Dewey. So it went through all these people that are not in the franchise anymore. So that was kind of cool.
Okay. I know I said I wasn't going to do any more criticisms, but this is my last criticism, I promise. Okay. Another thing. During the first AI call with Stu, he says, "I've always had a thing for you, Sid." Okay. Which he says in the first one. But if it's not actually Stu, how would those people know that he said that?
How would it? Yeah. There was actually more than one thing that was said across multiple calls that were things he said in the first movie that, yeah.
Yeah, but how would those people even know that he said that?
I don't know. Good questions.
Okay. Now, sorry, my favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes, is Tatum's boyfriend, after the opening scene, comes in through her window and has to hide, which is an homage to the first one where Billy Loomis comes in through Sydney's window and has to hide from her father, except Sydney's not stupid like her father and notices that he's there anyway.
Yeah, she knows right away.
She knows all the tricks.
She knows all the tricks.
I really I remember like not too long after they showed Matthew Lillard come back, I remember I even said like, "Oh, I wonder if it's some kind of AI thing or something." And it turned out to be that. I thought that was interesting how they incorporated that because as you are probably aware, AI is growing by leaps and bounds all the time. And it's kind of scary, honestly, like cuz at first it was like you could pretty much tell, and now you can tell a lot of things that they're AI, but there's some things that you look at and you're like, if you're not paying real close attention, or sometimes even if you are, it's still kind of hard to tell, like if something's real or not. And it just kind of makes you wonder, like, what it can obviously do some cool things, but like if it falls into the wrong hands, like could somebody who maybe didn't have good intentions do with it? And that could be one of the things they could do with it is commit crimes like as someone else.
For sure.
So that was an interesting angle that they worked into the story, I thought.
We recently saw another movie that was kind of centered around AI called Mercy in the theater. It has Chris Pratt
It's on me. I haven't seen it.
and I never remember her name, but the lady from Silo. That was a pretty good movie too, and it kind of was showing what a judicial system would look like when
Judicial system.
AI takes over and you are guilty until proven innocent. So that was a pretty cool movie too.
I also thought it was kind of interesting though, because that movie was made by MGM, which is owned by Amazon. And, Amazon is is not only not only a store, but they have a lot of technology that they use, and AI is part of it. And I thought like some of the movie was showing how things could go wrong, but I also thought a lot of the movie was like, no, guys, look how great AI is. Everything will be fine. Check it out. And it was just like, really? Come on. It was good. It was an alright movie, though. I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I just thought that was interesting that, like, I'm not sure if they're the ones that should point out the dangers of AI. And they did a little bit, but, they also did a lot of like, oh, it's also great. Look at this.
All right, guys. Well, we have talked about Scream 7. If you have listened this far, thank you.
Do we have anything else that we want to talk about? Any other favorite scenes or any?
That's all for me, folks.
I wish I had more favorite scenes, but I will say it's still like an okay movie. But unfortunately, I think Scream 7 is my least favorite in the entire franchise.
Well, here's the thing. I think you have to go into it with a certain set of expectations. I mean, I think by the time you get to part 7 of any story, it's obviously not going to be as good as like part 1.
Well, I'm not saying that it's gonna be better than the first, but they could have made it better than like literally any other one that they made.
Right. I'm just saying, like, you have to expect that, you kind of have to like go into it expecting that it's going to be kind of repetitive and watered down, because
I knew it was gonna be repetitive, but I didn't think it was gonna be like so bad that it's the worst one. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying that like there's only so much they can really do with that story. So I kind of already went into it expecting it to be that way. So it doesn't bother me
I
that
think
much.
it was the worst.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't like amazing.
no, it was the worst.
But
one.
it was like, I don't know. I would still go see it if I hadn't seen it.
Because like originally I thought, this is a very unpopular opinion, but originally I thought Scream 4 was the worst one. But now I think Scream 7 is worse than Scream 4. I think that is the worst.
Would you recommend that people go watch it?
Yes, I would definitely recommend go watch it, but I'm not saying it's like a terrible movie, don't watch it. I'm just saying out of them,
All right, on a scale of 0 to 5.
6.
All right, so you're saying it's a terrible movie, but it's a 6 on a scale of 0 to 5.
No, I'm saying it's terrible in terms of a Scream film.
What about it just in general as a regular film?
In general, then 6 out of 10.
6 out of we're not going. You can't just double the scale. It's a 5-star scale.
Fine, dude.
How many stars?
Oh my god, there are
5 stars?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 stars. Okay, that I would agree. That's it's not amazing. It's not that bad. It's
Put
okay.
it in the 2.7 to 3.2 range.
Yeah, it's right in the middle. Right in the middle. It's okay. I'd go see it again. I don't know if I'd go see it again. I'd go see it though. Like if I hadn't already seen it,
no.
I'd go see it.
But I'm not mad that I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it. All right, folks. Well, we thank you for listening to us jibber jabber on about Scream 7.
We apologize for the long absence. We're going to try to do these things a little more frequently. I know it seems like we're saying that a lot, but, things happen.
Life is lifing. You know.
We're glad that you're still here with us, and we hope that you enjoyed this episode. And if there's nothing else to say, you got anything you want to say, Colin?
Yes. So soon we might start talking about shows. So we will hopefully be able to talk about more stuff because we will be expanding to shows, hopefully.
Yes, got some new things planned.
In our free time.
Okay, well, thank you for tuning in
Follow us on the socials.
at Life
Like.
and Picks Pod
Subscribe.
everywhere except Twitter.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, leave a review. Let people know. Hopefully it's a good one, but rate whatever you feel. All right, well, until next time, enjoy the show. We'll see you later.